Hello guys, and welcome to another Spiral Flow Ropes video. Perhaps you've already mastered some basic rope flow patterns such as Matador or Race and Chase, for example, and now it's time for you to consider something a little bit different to spice up your flow. Well, in this video I've got you covered because we're going to look at wraps. Now wraps are a really fun way to spice up your flow, and I'm going to talk you through the main uses of them and run through some variations for you, progressing from the more simple ones onto the more complex ones after that. So hopefully by the end of the video you're going to have plenty of things to think about and incorporate into your flow. So without further ado, let's get into it, guys. So let's talk a little bit about why we'd want to practice wraps in the first place. One of the main uses of wraps, as you can see in this video, is I'm wrapping the rope around my arm, bringing it to a dead stop and then unraveling it, which is going to ultimately change the direction that the rope is flowing in. So here I go, I'm going to wrap it around my hand, comes to a stop, I unravel it, and now we're flowing in the opposite direction. And another use of wraps, which you can see in this video, is I'm going to wrap the rope around my arm, but this time instead of bringing it to a dead stop, I'm going to change the direction halfway through and carry on flowing like so. And a third and final use of wraps is the one you see here, and that is that you can practice them in isolation, as I'm doing here, and this means you're going to be flowing in the same direction. And I'm merely doing this just to practice the wrap until I feel comfortable with it, and then I can switch over to doing it alternating sides as I'm now doing. Now this wrap I'm performing here I call the overhand closed wrap. Closed means that the arm which the rope is wrapping around is coming across my body, unlike open where my arm would be stretched outwards. Now here we're going to move on to similar to overhand closed wrap. I call this the overhand shoulder wrap. The rope this time is just going to be placed closer to the shoulder like so, and this is a really good one for your abdominals, and here I've just picked up the pace by turning it into a 1-beat move either side. Here's a different angle for you. So yeah, it's 1 beat either side, 1, 1 and 1 like that. So you can practice that in 2 beat as well. So moving on, we've now got the overhand open wrap. As you can see, my arm which the rope is wrapping around is open, and it's going to come across my body like so. Now we're moving on to underhand, and this is an underhand open wrap. I'm going to wrap it around my arm for 2 beats and then bring it over to the other side for another 2 beats, and I'm going to alternate this when I feel comfortable. Here's another angle for you to see this a little bit better. So it's going to wrap around my arm which is stretched outwards twice, come over to the other side, and then 2 beats on the other side. Now we're going to move on to the underhand closed variation. So hopefully you can see the difference now between open and closed. The closed means that my arm is stretched across my body, the rope wraps around, and then I bring it over to the other side. There we go, and I'm alternating this pattern in this clip here. Always practice the wraps in isolation first before trying anything on alternating sides. Lovely, so moving on to the cheetah's tail wraps now. As I mentioned before, you can bring the rope to a dead stop, and this works in cheetah's tail as well. So get yourself in a comfortable cheetah's tail position, leave your arm out, and just simply let the rope wrap around your arm. The next variation would be to change direction once you have performed the cheetah's tail wrap. So wrap it around your arm, and then I'm going to turn in on this one. So this is one variation you can try, turning yourself in to change direction, and the opposite would be to turn away and change direction like so. So these are some really good releases to try, and once you've mastered these you can really incorporate them into your flow like I'm doing here. So this is a bit of freestyle for you, and this is something which once you've practiced these in isolation you can then fit them into your own flow, try out a load of different ones and see which patterns you think they flow nicely with. As you can see, I quite like to perform dragon rolls and link them into wraps myself, and you can just play around with it. You can do many different variations where you're turning and spinning in all different directions. Just get creative, have a go, try things, try different things, and you'll see that some things work better than others, and you might find your own favourite little variation to try. And I just wanted to say, guys, if you want to get 10% off your first rope flow purchase, then head on over to Spiral Flow Ropes and you can find out more info about that there. And of course, if you like this video, then please do like it. Leave us a comment and tell us what you liked, and even perhaps record a video of yourself doing it and tag us and post it in your social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook as well. And of course, please subscribe to the channel and you can find more related content coming your way very soon. Have a lovely day, guys. Happy flowing, and I'll see you in the next video.